Hello everyone, thanks for joining the webinar. In this webinar series, we cover different topics. In webinar week 1, we covered cloud native technologies, what is cloud native. In the webinar 2, we talked about Helm and Jenkins X, along with the CI/CD pipeline. In the third webinar, we covered service mesh with Istio and Spinnaker for doing the continuous deployment. And today in the fourth webinar, we are going to cover some of the tool sets which we can use along with other tools which we have seen so far, which are GitLab, GitOps, CircleCI, and Argo. There are more tools other than these available as well. We just picked few of them and to give you different flavors, but there are more tools which you can explore for doing CI/CD with Kubernetes. The first we look at for the GitLab. So most of us maybe think GitLab is just a source code management tool, but it is more than that. As you can see on the slide, it does a lot of coverage for different section of the DevOps cycle. So GitLab is now kind of becoming a one complete tool where you can do a complete DevOps cycle. For example, you can plan using the issue trackers, issue boards. We can create package our applications and so on. It has a very good integration with Kubernetes now as well. What it can do is you can deploy a Kubernetes cluster on GKE or maybe the cloud providers. It can also kind of connect to your existing Kubernetes cluster, which be on DigitalOcean and anywhere else. And it can then perform some operations like doing the deployments, getting the metrics, and so on. It also have an ability to do CI and CD. And we can also do some kind of security as well on top of GitLab. We can do container image scanning. We can do some of the the scanning of source code and that stuff as well. So this definitely looks very promising, and you can explore GitLab. Which brings us to the next topic today, which is GitOps. So we are all familiar with Git, where we kind of put our source code and see the source code is in the good state and consistent state, and we can kind of go at any timeline in our using the Gits, right? So similarly, on the same concept, what GitOps brings you, it brings you a single source of truth of your entire system. So what I could say is, I want to have my cluster, or I want to have my environment in certain state, and with the help of Git, I can mention that in my Git repository, saying that, okay, for example, if you're on Kubernetes cluster, you can say, I want to run a deployment of certain application with 3 replicas and so on. So I could mention that in my Git repository, and with the help of GitOps tools, I could say, okay, go and deploy the same deployment on my Kubernetes cluster. So that's what, in a sense, is GitOps, where Git becomes your single source of truth and the single source of operations. We can deploy our applications, we can roll back. So for example, if you want to roll back to your previous application, we just go to the Git and change the image version for our image in the deployment and so on, and our application get rolled back in our production environment. So this seems a way of kind of having a single state of the system and manage it with GitOps or with the Git. And once everything in Git, you can easily see that we could make a verifiable environment. We could check who did what and so on. So that makes GitOps very popular. So in terms of Kubernetes world, GitOps can be achieved with kubectl or kubectl, along with Git, of course. And some of the tools which have been built for GitOps, which is Jenkins X, Weaveworks Flux, Hasura GitKube, and also we're going to explore Argo CD today, which also uses GitOps way of doing the deployment. And if you recall, in the first session, we talked about CRDs, or custom resource definitions. So what happens, all of these tools extend the Kubernetes using the CRDs, what we talked about earlier. So whenever, for example, and I make a commit to my Git repository, there would be a webhook synced up with my Kubernetes cluster. And whenever some changes happen on the Git, my CRD get notified about that particular change. And based on that, I make some modification to my environment. So that's gist of doing the GitOps in Kubernetes. To recap, we talked about GitOps in our second webinar when we covered Jenkins X, in which what we saw is whenever we make a change to our source code repository, which is RSVP app application, and with that change, we kind of go and talk to the staging environment where we deploy the application to staging environment. And then once we are good with, okay, now our application looks good, we promote that application to production namespace or production environment, again with the help of GitOps tool. So we kind of go and modify our Git repo for the production environment, and that triggers the deployment of the application in the production namespace of the Kubernetes cluster. So we already have a recording out for this particular webinar, and if you want to dig deep, you can kind of go and check that out. Okay, which brings us to the next topic here, Circle CI, for which we're going to look at the demo. But before that, let me quickly show you our application which we have deployed. So here the application remains same what we have, and this application currently looks like this. So where we have a UI in which we could enter a name and an email address, which kind of spits out into a table format. Now this application, again, the same RSVP application which we have been using for other webinars as well. And all of our steps for these webinars is also in the Git repo, encourage/KTest CI/CD webinars. And we're going to look at the demos of Circle CI and Argo CD now. And the steps are here in this repository, which you can follow. So with that, let's just go back to the Circle CI. And for now, I just want to make sure that you kind of look at the application here, where we have name and the email. Enter your name as a text box inside that thing, because they want to modify this thing in our pipeline. So just want to make sure that you pay attention here. Okay, let's go back and talk about Circle CI, and then see how we can look at the demo of that. So a Circle CI is a CI tool using which we could do any CI jobs which we have been doing earlier. It can also do automated deployment as well. So Circle CI integrates with GitHub Bitbucket. Once we kind of integrate with our source code repository, it can trigger automated testing of that, and we would get notifications as our test passes, fails, or whatever, and then we can do automated deployment of the application. So here is a simple configuration file for Circle CI. So what you see here is we are defining a Circle CI configuration file, and we pick up a base Docker image which we want to use in our pipeline or in our job, and then we check out our source code and run echo hello world. That's a very simple one. But now let's see how we can use it in our environment and make the complete workflow along with that. So let me go back to the browser here. So here is my CI pipeline for my Git repo here. So what we have on our Git repo, so here is the source code repository which I would be using. So here we have a folder called .circleci. So we are in the dev branch of our source code, and in that dev branch we have created a folder called .circleci, which you have to create if you want to use Circle CI. And in that, you need to define a config.yaml file. This config.yaml file contains the workflow which we want to use for our CI pipeline. So as you could see here, we are defining few jobs here. We are saying jobs is test. One of the job is test, in which we are doing different steps here. So we are saying in first step test, we are kind of getting a base image to use for our testing purpose. In that, we first say I'm going to check out my source code, using which I have linked with my Circle CI project, which is of course this particular repo here. And in that checkout step, we are going to download the source code and install dependencies for our application to run the test cases. So what we're doing here is we are looking at the dependency or the requirement.txt file for our source code and installing those packages. After that happens, we are going to run the test cases here. So we say this Python command, using which we run our test cases. So this is the test job. In the build job, we say that, okay, I'm going to build my Docker image. So in the build job, we are going to say, okay, check out the source code and build the image. So here we are defining the Docker Hub username, and we are using the Git repos commit ID to kind of push the code or to build an image. So we are tagging the image with that particular tag. So this particular variable here, Docker Hub username, if I go to Circle CI UI there, in the settings, I would have defined a context. This context is called Docker Hub, and this context contains two environment variables, which is Docker Hub username and the Docker Hub password. So that's how we define these environment variables using the context. And then in the next job, we kind of push the image to our Docker Hub. So once the image is being built, we can push the image to our Docker Hub account. So once our jobs are defined, we create a workflow. The workflow is build and deploy, in which we do a test, then we build an image, and then we push the images. Sorry, in the first step, we're going to test our source code, and then we build and push the image to our Docker Hub account. Now, if you look at here, we just kind of connecting to the dev branch only. We're not touching up the master branch here. So whatever code I'm going to make in the dev branch, for that only my Circle CI job is going to get triggered. So let's go ahead and our source code repository here. And what we'll do now is we'll go to the dev branch, and we'll go to templates, profile.html, and then we are going to make a change here now. So we are going to say, instead of the text box which says name, we're going to, the text box, the label of that. So we're going to change it to enter your name here. Sorry. And enter your email. Let's change what we have made. Let's go and commit it. So our change is now committed here. And now if I go to the CI workflow there, for the Circle CI UI, you would see our job has been running, and this is part of the workflow of RSVP app, what we have given the name here. And in this particular RSVP app workflow, we have 3 steps: test, build, and push. So in the test step, let's go there. So what's going to happen is it's going to spin up our environment with the base image there. So there seems to be unexpected environment preparation. I don't know what happened. Let's just wait for. Okay, interesting. Demo gods are not with us today, so let's see if we can rerun the job here. go here. Let's say rerun workflow. Interesting. Okay. Let me just try one more time. If it doesn't happen, then I'm just going to show you the output of the last build. There seems to be some problem. It has worked earlier, as you can see. Okay, so let me just not try to kind of convince you on that. What we'll do is we'll look at the build which I just an hour ago. So as we see, there are 3 stages here in the workflow: test, build, and push. So if you look at the test one, what happens? The first thing is we spin up the environment. We check out the source code. We then install the dependencies for our test to run. And once that gets over, then we run our test. So all of our test cases would pass here. And then if we go back to the last step, in the build step, we are going to build our image. And once the image is being built, in the last step, we are going to push the image to our Git repository. So here we have the step in which we are pushing the image to the Docker Hub, and our image is being pushed with this particular tag. Let's just go ahead and try to run the workflow one more time and see if this works. No, so I don't know why it's failing, because everything seems to have worked some time back. Okay, so we assume that okay, now GitHub or the Circle CI has done its job, and we have pushed an image to our Docker Hub account. So this is the job what we are doing, or workflow what we are doing with Circle CI. You can integrate with some deployment tool also, like Heroku and something, which can push your stuff to in the deployment in the running environment as well. Okay, let's not waste time here. Let's go to the next thing. So which brings us to the next tool here, which is Argo. Argo provides the workflow engine for Kubernetes. It has multiple sub-projects using which we can achieve the full workflow management. Like for example, it has Argo CI for doing this continuous integration, Argo CD for continuous deployment, and it can do event-based dependency management for Kubernetes as well, which is Argo events. So we're going to focus on Argo CD, which is a deployment tool. It is built on the topics of GitOps, so what we covered earlier. So it treats your Git repository as single point of truth, using which it deploys the applications into your environment. So as you can see, once a change is made to the Git repository, Argo CD can detect the change, not respect to the source code. Okay, let me just go over the Git repo first, and I'll come back here. So, okay, so let me quickly show the Git repo, how does it look like, and then I can maybe talk better there. So let's go to our master branch. So here we are not going to look at the dev branch. So if our test case would have been run perfectly fine, we would have moved, or we would have send a pull request from dev branch to the master branch, and then master branch would have the latest code, and which we were going to deploy into our environment. So in our master branch, we have a repository called k8s. This contains file called rsgp.yml, which contains our deployment on how we want to deploy our application using Argo to our production environment. Now, Argo can look at a YAML file, or it can look at a Helm chart, a KSonnet, or a customized tool. So if we have configured our source code with any one of these tools, Helm, KSonnet, Customize, or just a YAML file, Argo can look at these files of the configuration and then deploy the application accordingly. Now, in our case, we have the YAML file. So whenever we make a change into our YAML file, which contains the changes into the Kubernetes YAML file, that change would be notified or kind of understood by the Argo tool, and then it could deploy that application into different Kubernetes environment, whatever you would have. It can also do a CI, as I mentioned. It can integrate the CI tool, and using which you can also achieve the continuous integration and then do the deployment after that. So hopefully this makes sense. So Argo CD can look at your GitHub changes for any one of these tools or the files, and if it identifies some changes, using which it would deploy the application into the environment of Kubernetes, whatever you have. It also have many enterprise class tools like SSO integration. You can have a single sign-on built with Argo CD so that you can kind of give it to your teammates and they can use the Argo CD. It also supports rollback and roll anywhere. So we could deploy the application, and if something doesn't look good, we can roll back to our previous version or whatever version we're interested in, so that it can, so our applications doesn't see any downtime. So in our previous webinars, we definitely talked about YAML files and the Helm charts. There are two other tools which Argo supports. It's called KSonnet. It's a JSONet-based application package management. So you could kind of define your application into JSONet format, and which Kubernetes can deploy. Similarly, in Customize, another tool which you can use for defining the application. So Argo definitely have a lot of supports there. So let's go and look at the demo and look at the UI. So what I have done is before the setup itself or before the webinar, I have followed the steps as mentioned here in the Argo CD documentation, which is here. So they have a very good starting guide which you can kind of use and get started. So here are the steps which I have performed before starting this webinar. And we already have an app running, and this application, what you are seeing, is being served by the Argo CD deployment, which we have done previously. So let me just go ahead and first, to show the demo, I'm going to destroy this particular application here, which is going to delete our deployment as well. So let's just go ahead and deploy it so that I can show you all the steps. So our application is now been gone, and if I kind of go and look at my kubectl get pods, you would see my front-end application is getting over now, right? So when you deploy your Argo CD, it would create a namespace called Argo CD, in which it would run the pods which are required for Argo CD to run. So sorry. Okay, so interesting. So this is running, right? Yeah, so as you can see, there we have running few of the controller and whatever is required for Argo CD. They have been running there. Now we are going to add so we assume that we have figured out all the steps which is required, and all of them are documented here, which you could follow. They're very easy to follow. The only thing what we have changed here is they kind of or we kind of assume that our application would be running on load balancer. So they kind of given the steps for the load balancer, but we have made it to run on the node port. That's the only change what we have made there. The rest, all the steps are same. So here is the UI for the Argo CD. We have logged in already. So we'll go here and say create new application. We would give our Git repo, which we have used previously. That's why it's coming the history. Otherwise, ask you to kind of give you a Git repo. And let's click on next. And then we'll say create a repo from app directory. So what I'm assuming that is kind of trying to figure out, do I have any Helm chart? Do I have any customize and so on? But if not, we're going to say create an app from the directory. So we have the Git repo here. And in that Git repo, we have the KTest folder, which contains our YAML files. So we're going to give the path of that directory there. Project name is default. We can give a different name also. We can give an application name we can give here. We can say webinar, RSVP. Cluster URL, we are in the local cluster because our Argo CD is running on the same Kubernetes cluster. If it has been different, then you can configure Argo CD to talk to a different Kubernetes cluster as well. The namespace in which you want to deploy, it's default. And then will it create? And now you would see it says that it is out of sync, which means that current deployment for this application is not synced with your Git repo. So what we'll do here is we'll say go ahead and sync. And once we sync, it says synced. We click on this particular box there, and as now you're seeing, it has deployed a deployment which consists of our front-end application and a deployment for our backend database. And we have two services for the RSVP and the MongoDB database, which is the backend for our application. So this is how we could easily deploy the application with Argo CD. And let's just figure out what is the node port for our application. So I'll go back to the terminal here. I'll look at the pods in my default namespace. Look at the services. And here is my node port. So I'll just take up this 31063. I'm on the same node, so I'll just copy the IP here. 31063. And as you can see, our application is not deployed. Now this application is being deployed using the older committed code, which we checked with Circle CI, but we could not make to the newer version. But let's see if I can show you with different image name. So now I go back to my Git repository, and here is my rsvp.yaml, which uses the image which I have pushed previously. So I'm going to change the tag here, and let's see what happens after that. So we go ahead and say, I want to change a tag which I know that I have used earlier. So I'm going to make the change from, I'm going to change the tag from whatever the git commit ID to just dev. And let's do the commit change here. So now what happened is we have changed the deployment configuration file in our Git repository. And let's go to the Argo UI now. Now currently it doesn't detect anything. There's a change in our Git repo and this application. This is because we haven't configured auto sync. So with auto sync, it can go and check out if there is a difference in the YAML file in the Git repo and what I have deployed, right? So what we'll do here is we're going to click on the icon here and say sync. And then we'll say enable prune as well. The prune means it's going to destroy the previous created pods and let us synchronize. And what you will see once I hit the synchronize button, you would see the pods would come with a newer version, or pods would get deployed using the new images what we have the dev release, right? So let's hit the synchronize here. Okay. Okay, maybe I think we just wait for some time anyway. So what happened is maybe by mistake I enabled auto. No, I haven't enabled auto sync earlier. I think I just waited for some time. Okay. Anyway, what's happening here is our deployment is now getting deployed with the newer pods there, and older pods are getting terminated. So if I kind of go back here and check get pods, you would see my older pods, my other pods with the other images are getting terminating, and my new pods are coming up now, right? And if I look at the application, hopefully there is some change which I could show. So, but the dev branch has the same change as our current what we deployed previously. So that's funny that we could not show the demo of that. But let me see if I can do some stuff there. So let's just try to figure out. I'm doing just on, let's see. So we are in the dev branch. Let's look at the okay. Yeah, so this commit what we made a few hours back. Let me see if we can. Okay, what we could do actually is I could go to my Docker Hub account and figure out different tags for that. And let's try to put an image from there. So it's not, I need to log into different account. Just give me a minute. So here is the app. Just want to confirm that's the image name we are using. Here. Yep. So let me just pick up the tags from here. Yeah, so we could pick up some other tag from here, and then let's try to change that one. Okay. So I'm going to pick up a different tag here. I'll go to the Git repository of my application. Yeah, here it is. And let me just change the different tag here. And hopefully that would have a different data point to show. So I'm just changing the image tag here, work commit. I'll go to Argo CD app and hit sync with the prune option. And as I do that, you should see a different, yeah, the new version of the application is coming. Older pods are getting down. And hopefully when we hit get pods, which is confirming, get SVC 31063, and hopefully this would give you a different view. Same thing. Yep. So as you can see that now image has been changed to the different version. So as we change the code into our Git rep, as we change the image name into our Git repository, and Argo can look at the change and deploy the application. What we can do further, as in the documentation, you can enable the auto sync. So with auto sync option, whenever Git repo is being changed, automatically deployment would happen. We would not have to kind of go and do a sync every time. So this auto sync can be enabled, and with that, your application can be deployed using the Git repo. And these are the references which I have used for this particular webinar. I think that's it for the demo perspective. Maybe we can just try the Circle CI and see if it has worked. Should give us some better error at least. Test, rerun. Now this seems to be running. Hopefully. Yeah, it seems to be running, so I think it would run in some time. So maybe we can take questions, and if this finishes up, we can look at back.